What's up, guys? Brent Sibley Dolman Accident Injury Attorneys, and today I'm going to talk about Elon Musk currently standing trial for a tweet. So, yesterday in California in a federal court, Elon Musk started his trial where he's being sued for defamation for a tweet that he sent last year when those little boys were trapped underneath the water somewhere in Thailand, and Elon said that he was going to build a little submarine to rescue them. At the same time, there was a guy over there working on, he was a spelunker, which I think is somebody who goes underwater in caves and is an expert of navigating water in caves. And he was actually able to save the boys before Elon and his submarine got there. And this guy, his name is Unsworth, Mr. Unsworth. He tweeted that Elon Musk didn't get here in time. He can take his submarine and shove it up his ass. And then Elon responded and said, basically, the tweet has been deleted now, so I can't see it anymore, but I'm sure it's still up in other places. But he called him a pedophile guy, and he put in some facts into his tweet about why else would an expatriate from America live in Thailand at this age, and he insinuated that he was married to an underage girl. Anyway, this guy sued Elon Musk for defamation, saying that it's hurt his reputation and that he's not a pedophile and that Elon Musk and his 30 million Twitter followers, all this stuff. So it's really interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, Elon started testifying yesterday, and I read an article this morning, and I haven't seen any updates yet today about how this is playing out. But basically, he said that when he was growing up, calling someone pedo guy or however you pronounce that is basically like saying they're creepy, like they're a creep. So that was his response, and there was a couple main determinations that the judge in this case had to make so far. The key one was Elon and his lawyers said that this guy, Mr. Unsworth, was a public figure for the purposes of this whole scenario, because the news was covering this event and there was a lot of media on this event, and that this guy who saved the kids was a public figure, a limited exception public figure. Why does that matter? Because if you are a public figure, different rules apply to you and the threshold for defamation. Anyway, the judge decided that this guy was not a public figure, and therefore, in order for Elon to be sued successfully, this guy doesn't have to prove malice. He only has to prove negligence. Whereas if this guy was considered to be a public figure, then they would have to prove Elon Musk not only acted negligently with his tweet, but that he maliciously sent it out because he intended harm. He wanted to hurt this guy. He wanted to, defame him. He wanted to cause him financial harm. So that was a big decision that happened from what I read, I think just in the last couple days before the trial started. That was a pretrial motion, which is very common in our business. In the personal injury world, we might have like a couple big things that we're not sure how the judge is going to rule. The judge might want to see all the evidence in the case and then say, okay, you're going to be allowed to call this doctor, or we're going to talk about how much money this doctor's been paid by State Farm. Or in this case, I'm going to decide that this guy is not a public figure, and it's going to have a huge impact on the case, because if this guy was a public figure, for example, the case might have been thrown out because there might be no evidence about Elon acting maliciously. What if all their evidence is just that Elon acted negligently? If that was the case and the judge made the decision and they had no malicious evidence that he was acting with malice, they might have just lost the case, and they might not, and the judge might have said the case is dismissed now because of that decision and you don't have any malice evidence. So that's a really interesting thing. I'm going to keep following this case, see how Elon comes out of this tweet lawsuit, and we'll see how our favorite entrepreneur does in the legal system. Brent Sibley Dolman, talk to you guys in the next one.